So it's time for another collector's edition. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. So the collector's edition is where I'm trying to collect every single PAL Mega Drive game, peripherals and consoles. And I'm going to try get every single exclusive Genesis game, hardware and peripheral, and then probably eventually every single exclusive hardware, peripheral, Japanese. You get it. I'm going deep down the rabbit's hole. Let's check out what I've managed to collect for this collector's edition. First up, we got these two official controllers for Mortal Kombat 3 that have a pretty unique function to them. So I've got Mortal Kombat 3 control pad version 1 and version 2, and the difference between these are the different characters that are available on the different cards. We'll have a look at those in a minute. It did come out on the SEGA Genesis, but a few hundred of these made their way over to Europe. I don't know if they came out officially in stores or if it's an importer. What I do know is a lot of them made their way over to Germany, which is quite ironic because Mortal Kombat was quite heavily censored in Germany at the time. This one I picked up in Germany in a store, and this one I picked up like a few days later actually, because I started looking into this from a private seller. So I got both of these now. So these are the two boxes. Let's have a quick look to see what we get inside them. And you can see they all come boxed with all the packaging and everything. So even if this isn't brand new, it's in very good condition. So we have the controller, we got the cards, and we've got the manual as well. It's a little convoluted to use. It's not the best controller in the world. To be honest, it's probably easier just to learn the special moves. It does only work for player 1, and it does work on a PAL SEGA Mega Drive, so you can pick these up. It does also say in the manual that it supports a number of other games, or a number of other games were supposed to come out with these cards, but I've not managed to find any of the additional cards. So it's got in here Art of Fighting, the original Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, Eternal Champions, Super Street Fighter 2, World Heroes, Turtles Tournament Fighter, Clay Fighter, Fatal Fury, and then obviously we've got the Mortal Kombats there. But I've not found any other cards, so if anyone knows if you can get the other cards, I'd love to be able to add them to the collection. So these are the cards you've got here. Just open it up so we can have a look at them. It's quite a cool little idea. And you slot these into the controller. So if we just unbox the controller here, here's the bag it came with. So, you know, it's in pretty good condition. So here's the controller, and you've got slow-mo on there, you've got your turbo, and then what you do is you get your character cartridge, and you stick it in here. And then these buttons along the top here, you switch them depending on which character you're playing. And then these blue buttons here are assigned to move. So I think like 1, 2, and 1 to 4 will be for one character, 5 to 6 will be for another character. And depending on what you choose depends on what these buttons do here. So if you've got it on 1, it will do some of the special moves. If you've got it on 2, it will do some of the other special moves. 3 will do the fatality. So you get it, right? You switch the button over to what you want, and then you get those special moves. But I think it's a cool little bit of history there, something I didn't know about at all. But yeah, so there we have it. These are the Mortal Kombat 3 control pads. If anyone knows if you can get any of the other cards, I'd love to be able to add those cards to the collection. Like I said, very limited release in Europe. I'm not even sure it was official, if it was just a distributor who purchased a load of the leftover stock from the States and started to sell them over here in Europe. I can't ever remember seeing them in the UK at all. But there we go, Mortal Kombat control pad version 1 and 2. Next up, Demon Claw, brand new Sega Genesis and Mega Drive game that you can buy now. Those that watch the channel regularly would have already seen an unboxing for this. This is the Kickstarter copy of Demon Claw. Brilliant game, really enjoyed it. Haven't finished it yet. I must be close, must be very close to the end. There's so much cool stuff you got with the Kickstarter version. My favorite are these cards. I've also got a poster, but I've got that packed away so it doesn't get damaged. Here's the manual. There's like a thank you leaflet from the developers, stickers. Awesome game, so good. If you haven't, check out my unboxing and initial playthrough of the game. I've got a lot better since doing the tutorial for the game. But it's so well done. I love these cards. They do them for Demons of Asterborg as well. Of course, these the same developer, NeoFid, did the port for Demon Claw, which is an Amiga title, or a new Amiga title coming out. But yeah, lovely game. Really enjoy it. If you get the chance to pick this up, absolutely recommend it. There's so much depth to it. When I first started playing it, I thought it was a simple beat 'em up on a single level, just move across, beat things up. But there's a lot of depth to the combat and the different characters that you get in the game, 2 to choose from, and the difference in their attack moves is amazing. They're so different, and the end bosses are so varied. Excellent game, highly recommended. Oreo Wings of Hope. This game only has 40 physical copies, and it's actually a demo for a full Nintendo Switch and Steam game. So again, regular viewers would have already seen a video on this. This is actually a press kit for a game that is coming out on Steam, but they made a physical copy of the game. It's kind of like a demo really, as a press pack, which I think is so cool that the Mega Drive and Genesis is so popular now that people are making games for it as a press pack to get people interested in their games on modern consoles as well. It's okay, the demo, it was a bit of fun. It would need a huge amount of work to get it there, but I like the premise of it. So yeah, check out that video if you haven't already. Finally got my hands on this. It's the Mega Drive version of the Big Six. Really hard to get hold of the Mega Drive version of the Big Six arcade pad. Now I have the Genesis version that Retrobit actually sent me, but I really wanted the Mega Drive version, so I had that Mega Drive branding on the controller. It's the wired version. It is my go-to controller. A lot of people, I think from previous Retrobit controllers, had issues with D-pads. I've had no problems at all. I have put in well over 1,000 hours on the Big Six Genesis version, but having the Mega Drive version is really good for me. Obviously a Mega Drive collector, so having this version is going to be awesome. I'll swap my Genesis version out for this version of the controller. Really nice. I've done a preview on this already. Start is probably the kind of biggest not issue with this, but nuance to it. So they tried to keep start in the same place as the original controller, but obviously if you hit these X, Y, Z buttons at the top there, you're going to hit the button if it was raised. So they've made it flat to the surface here and you push it in. So you get used to it. When I initially had it, it was kind of a little odd, but I'm quite used to it now. But it feels so good, really nice. And of course it comes with the mode button at the top here. But this is my go-to controller, the Genesis version. This will now be my go-to version of the controller. Sonic Mania has a very special connection to the SEGA Genesis and Mega Drive. So my parents actually purchased this for me. Been waiting so long to add to the collection. Obviously it's a modern game, a modern Sonic game, PlayStation 4 version. But for those of you who know the SEGA Mania Collector's Edition, you'll know why I've added this to the collection. The game's amazing to start off with. If you're a Sonic fan, it's one of the best, well, for me, one of the best Sonics that came out in a kind of modern era. But it's for the statue. The statue has Sonic standing on a SEGA Mega Drive. Now, the SEGA Mega Drive isn't quite to spec. They've taken a few liberties with it. But it's still cool. If you turn the on and off, I don't have the batteries in at the moment, but if you turn on and off, it says the SEGA logo. SEGA! And you know, the volume goes up and down. Doesn't do anything. It's just a slider. The reset button is spray painted on, but the power slider moves back and forth. Like I said, it's not the highest quality for the SEGA Mega Drive in terms of making a replica. But I had to have it, and they are harder and harder to get hold of. So there's our Sonic statue, and then inside there as well, there's a card, there's a steel card, but we have the Sonic cartridge here, and you open it up and you got the Sonic ring. So we've got a Mega Drive cartridge, replica Mega Drive cartridge, which holds the Sonic ring in there. But really cool, really like it. I'm so glad I've managed to get it into the collection as well. Of course, having that Sonic stand on a Mega Drive was a must for a Mega Drive and Genesis collector like myself. My Mega CD collection continues to grow with Sewer Shark on the Mega CD, and this is one of the very few big box versions that got released for the console. So it's not just my Mega Drive collection that's seeing a lot of love in the room here. Also the Mega CD and 32X and Master System. So anything that worked with the Mega Drive, any of its add-ons, I'm getting those as well. So I am building out a full Mega CD collection. I'm kind of approaching the Mega CD collection like I did back in the day when I was collecting for Mega Drive. So I've always got a Mega Drive product, game, peripheral, for every single year since the Mega Drive came out here in the UK. Always got one religiously. And some years I got like one game or a controller. Definitely maybe in the last 15 years, it's become more of a, okay, I'm getting 10 games a year, and you know, one year I managed to get 100 games in a year. I'm not in a rush to complete it, and I think that's what I'm doing with the Mega CD as well. I've got all the games that I had originally when I had my Mega CD. I've got my original Mega CD and the original games for it. That was about like 10 games. And so I tried to pick up a few Mega CD games as well. And we've got Sewer Shark, another big box. A lot of people don't like the Image Soft games. These are the FMV games that you got on the Mega CD. I really like them. I think they were a great product of their time. Something you don't see anymore. It's one of those kind of lost genres of gaming, and it's not just nostalgia. It's the quirkiness of it. It's the uniqueness of the experience that just screams 90s. But yes, Sewer Shark is now in the collection, and the condition of this game is absolutely fantastic. Everything with it, complete in box. The Secrets of the Four Winds, possibly one of the best action RPGs you can play on the SEGA Genesis and Mega Drive. And I bought the big box version. So I pre-ordered the big box version of Secrets of the Four Winds. This is the collector's edition from Kaya Magazine Software. It is fantastic. I keep on meaning to get round to doing an unboxing and review. There's just so much other stuff going on. I'm still playing it. I haven't finished it. I grind this game. I love grinding in this game. It's so brilliant for that. If you're an RPG player who loves grinding, in your games, getting those stats up, finding different items to power your characters up. It's perfect for that. And there's so much depth to it. You'd think like an indie title would be relatively light, especially when it comes to an RPG. But that, you know, there's items in there, there's collectibles in there. You've got your normal stat ranking up there where you can choose your XP points to upgrade certain aspects of your characters. The characters are different, have different moves. You can choose to play any one of the characters at any point, and it's an action RPG as well. So you're kind of moving around and attacking at the same time. It's not kind of JRPG. And the visual effects in it are brilliant. Levels are massive. If you haven't got this and you're an RPG fan, you are missing out. So like I said, I haven't had time to really go through and do an unboxing, so we can do a quick unboxing here. This is the Secrets of the Four Winds media drive. It's got soundtrack on here, screenshots, some concept images. It's a nice little extra there. We got a big box. We never really got big boxes back in the day. You had the two Carmen Sandiego big boxes. There is the Batman big box. I think there's a Primal Rage. What else was there? Carnage was another one. And I think Phantom was another one. So those were the big boxes we got back in the day. There may have been one or two more. But to have a modern day big box version of a game is fantastic. And Kai Magazine Soft put so much effort into this. So let's have a look what we get inside. Right, we get the art book, which again is great to get a little art book. Especially, again, these are independent developers. You can't say they're homebrew anymore. These guys are independent developers, small development studios making this. This is the art book. This guy is awesome. So good. One of my favorites in the entire game. But look at this. It's so... the story's brilliant as well. I absolutely love it. Very cool. Anyway, there's the art book. Very nice. And then inside we have the game and a little extra. Put that to one side here. The cover on here as well is reversible. So you can either have this or you can have this. So you can choose which cover you want on both the big box and the standard box as well. And of course you can have Genesis branding if you want Genesis branding. So we've got, what do we have in this one? I think this one is a necklace you've got. Yes, this is the necklace. So you've got a necklace here. And then we've got the game, and this has a ton of stuff in it as well. There's some notes on here about compatibility. Of course, the really cool thing about the Secrets of the Four Winds, or one of the cool things about the Secrets of the Four Winds, is it's got a CD quality soundtrack, and you can switch between the CD quality soundtrack and an FM soundtrack, an original Mega Drive soundtrack as well. I play with the CD quality soundtrack on it. It just feels like I'm playing a Mega CD game. Inside here, we've got a couple of goodies as well. So we have the manual, and it's a full colored manual as well. Love full color manuals. And then we've got some postcards here. And we'll just have a quick look at these. Really nice. I do like the artwork from Kai Magazine Software, especially pixel art. Look at that pixel art. So well done. So well done. So if you haven't, and you're a Genesis or Mega Drive collector, or just a fan of these games, if you love RPGs, this has got to be one of the best RPGs on the platform now. Of course, it comes down to personal taste. I'm not going to say it's the best, because you may not like action RPGs, but when you compare it to the relatively small RPG collection that you find on the Genesis and Mega Drive, this is going to be up there. I guarantee this is going to be in your top 5 easily. I've finally gone and done it. I've purchased a complete in-box version of The Death and Return of Superman. Probably one of the most expensive games you can buy for the SEGA Power Mega Drive. So this has been my nemesis game for the longest time. Not because I don't like the game, but just the way this game has gone up in price. The FOMO in the community for this game, the fear of missing out, is strong with this game. It's driven this game beyond what it's actually worth. People consider it rare. I would say this is far from rare. It's scarce. You can get a complete in box version of this almost every single month on eBay. And there is a version of this, whether it's cartridge, box and cartridge, always multiples on eBay. And then if you go to private sellers, there are private sellers selling this. There are far more rarer games. Fatal Fury 2 is super rare. The acclaimed Spider-Man is harder to get than this. But the big deal about this one is that it has, in the European version, a bug in it that just kills the game. And I played it a couple of times and it killed the game for both of those times, right? So the story goes that this was recalled. It wasn't. Back in the 90s, no games were recalled. And even if they were, who would know, right? I was a kid then. It's not like there was the internet around that we were browsing and it's like, right, I've got to return this. If this was returned to the shops, they would have just chucked it and claimed the money back from the distributors. But like I said, there's a lot of FOMO. The game can sell. This game sold for up to £2,000. That's nearly $3,000 for this version of the game, because people think it's super rare. It's scarce, I'll give you that, it is scarce. So how much did I pay for my copy? Considering I am genuinely offended that this game used to be about $350 and it just skyrocketed. It wasn't like a gradual, it went up. This game went from $350 to £1,000 in one sale, and then after that just stayed above £1,000. I didn't get mine from eBay. I do scan eBay regularly for this game because it is scarce, and it has come across my path from private sellers, but they all want over 1,000. And I'm not, on principle, it's probably a stupid principle perhaps as a collector, I don't want to pay £1,000 for it, especially like I play these games as well, so I take them out of the covers and stick them in. I have a good go on these games here, so I didn't want to pay £1,000 for this. I managed to get this for $765, complete in box, great condition, and that was from a private seller. Cash sale, I didn't trade anything, so you can get this significantly cheaper if you look around. I think eBay is really leaning into the fear of missing out. And you know, this seller didn't miss out on something. He's still got, considering how much this used to cost, he's still got a great price for it. And I think a fair price for both of us for the game. But it's finally in the collection. It is considered one of the most expensive. I'd say at the moment, with current trends, it's probably the second most expensive. If you don't include the Celtics game, which you shouldn't really. Even though I've got it, you shouldn't count that as part of the official collection. That's a novelty game. But I think probably Fatal Fury 2 is going to be the most expensive for a long time. And that game is genuinely rare. Only came out in Australia. This came out in 24 different countries in Europe. So, you know, unless they were selling 10 copies in each country, it's not super rare. It's scarce. But yeah, anyway, enough of the ranting. It's in the collection. There's a few bigger hitters left, but not as big as this and not as big as Fatal Fury 2. You would have seen at the beginning, there's about 4 or 5 big hitters that are going to be well over 500 that I still need to add to the collection. But it is cool to get in there. I have enjoyed what I can play of this. I might have to use Action Replay cartridge to see if I can get past that bug as well. I love my beat 'em ups, and I'd say this is a half decent beat 'em up. Solid 7 out of 10. It's been a great year for me so far when collecting these heavy grail games, consoles and peripherals for the SEGA Mega Drive. I've really loved picking up some of these rare oddities, and even though this is my nemesis game, I hate how much this game costs. I do love having it in the collection. I do enjoy playing it as well. I haven't yet managed to get past the crash. One thing I didn't mention when I was showing this off is this also comes in the Acclaim box. And I've seen a lot of these copies go with the standard Sega box, which is the incorrect box. So if you do buy this, if you are going to spend a lot of money, make sure it's the correct clamshell that you're getting with it as well. That's all for this week's show, and I'll catch you in the next one.